So today we're answering the question of how is the housing market? We're breaking down the numbers and we're going to tell you the number one thing you need to consider if you're a homeowner. Hey everyone, it's Shelly from the Shelly Killinger Group here at RE/MAX CSI. So today we are answering the question of how is the housing market? Part of our job here and part of our great pleasure is to keep our community informed on what's happening in the market, but not just to give you the numbers, but to tell you what exactly does that mean for you if you are a homeowner or if you are looking to buy or sell. So as always, we are taking a look at the southwest corner of the Pittsburgh market, and this time we are comparing this January's data, so January of 2020, the 1st to the 31st, and we're comparing it to January of 2019, so when we first walked into the 2019 year. So at the end of January in 2020, we had 498 properties that were on the market for sale in the southwest section of the Pittsburgh market. If we compare that to last year we were at 538 properties for sale, and unfortunately that's a little bit low, and that's kind of troubling, especially for buyers, because we have been in such a low inventory situation. To have inventory decrease even further is definitely troubling for buyers because there are just no houses to choose from. In the month of January in 2020, there were 156 properties that sold, which actually compares really well to the 153 properties that we had sold in January of 2019. The average number of days on market in January 2020 was 64 days on market, which again compares very well to the 63 days on market that we had in January of 2019. So you're probably wondering, what does all of this mean to me if I'm a homeowner or if I am looking to buy or sell a home? Well, quite frankly, the numbers are fairly even. When we look at January of 2019 and then we look at January of 2020, really the days on market has not varied much. Even the sold prices have not varied significantly. The number of homes that are trading is consistent. The biggest difference that we're seeing is the number of homes that are actively for sale. In fact, like I said earlier, in January we had 498 properties actively for sale. Even if we look just a month ago, at the end of December, we had 535 properties for sale in December, which was typically the slowest month of the year for us in Pittsburgh. So really to kind of see those numbers go down, it's definitely troublesome. So if you are thinking of buying in 2020, I would definitely brace yourself for an aggressive market, because really all things considered, everything else is pretty even. Days on market, the number of homes that are trading, the buyer demand is still there. I did a video a couple weeks ago, I don't know if you guys saw it, where I mentioned that within a week's span, we had been working with 8 new buyers. We sat down with 8 new buyers, and it has continued since then with just so many new buyers entering the market. The buyer demand, in my opinion, is probably higher this year than it was last year, and we have fewer homes on the market. So this market this year is also going to be very aggressive. So if you're thinking about buying, definitely be sure that you're going to be aggressive in your offer writing, aggressive in showing the homes quickly, getting in to tour the homes quickly, and you might need to be creative in your offer writing. In fact, we're going to do a video in just a couple weeks about buying a home, 4 hacks for buying a home in a seller's market. So definitely watch out for that one coming up. It'll definitely be some good info that'll help you. But really the bottom line, guys, we need more houses. That's it. If you are a homeowner and you have ever had thoughts of selling, now is the time to think about, should I capitalize on this opportunity? Because there are very few houses on the market. It doesn't look like inventory levels are rising anytime soon. And so you do really have an opportunity as a seller to sell for top dollar in not very much time. So if you've ever had any thoughts of selling, now is definitely the time to consider. Talk to your real estate agent, get some numbers, figure out how much equity you have in your home, and figure out, does it make sense for me to move now? So I hope all of that helps you guys a little bit in making your home buying and home selling decisions. Of course, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us or post them in the comments down below, and we'll be sure to get you answers. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time.